Every time we dive into our delegation roadmap with a heroic business owner, we get a bit of pushback. When we tell them that they only get 3 to 4 items that are off limits as far as delegation goes. So, how do you delegate the impossible? Well, let's dive on in. Happy Monday, friends. Thomas Joyner with Business on Purpose here. You know, it never fails. The excuses, they go on and on and on. That's impossible to delegate, Thomas. You don't understand. I can't let go of that. I can't train somebody to do all of that. Listen, we really have heard it all here. And yet think for a moment about some of the biggest businesses you know of. The big boys, right? Did they start out as multi-billion-dollar businesses? Heck no. Most of them were mom and pop, one location businesses that figured out the magic to scaling, and then they figured out how to delegate and how to train. That's really the bottom line right there. They created and implemented new job roles and equipped their team to do the jobs they were asking them to do. So, if you were to write down all the things that you do on a weekly basis, what's the one thing that came up in your mind that you would love to delegate, but you're sitting here thinking, there's just no way? Just last week, some examples from our clients doing this day after day after day. One business owner letting go of estimating for the first time in 6 years of running the business. Another, letting go of the entire back end and hiring a virtual bookkeeper and a CPA for the first time. It's life-changing. Still another, offloaded a huge piece of their operations and scheduling to another team member for the first time in almost 5 years of doing business. They've been doing it the same way day after day after day until we finally expanded their horizons and helped them figure out how to delegate and get some of this stuff off their plate. Time after time, day after day, business owners are doing the unthinkable and offloading serious weight in their business, making time for what only they can do. So how are they doing it? Well, we call it the systems mindset. The next time you do an undelegatable task, if that's even a word, undelegatable, record the process as if it's the last time you will ever have to do it. Newsflash, this is going to take time, right? Record it with a screen capture technology, or grab an admin or your spouse or a kid, whoever. Dictate to them and help them understand every single step. Describe every step. Take pictures of every step. Record every step. And I mean every single step. As if you were going to go off and find somebody, some John Smith off the side of the road, and hand this over to them and expect, using your directions, for them to be able to take this and do it. You know, from there, communicate it to an employee that you're going to begin to give it to them and let them own the task, all of it, by whatever date you decide they need to take it over. Now, this may mean that they have to delegate something from their task list, right? It happens. They can't just pile on and pile on and pile on. No problem. The same steps apply for them as does for you. After you've communicated this, schedule a time to train them on the process. Walk them through every detail that you've recorded and figure out where they may lack clarity or they may struggle to implement. Then push them to have a first attempt. Do it alongside them and help them through it as they kind of take over this first attempt. And after you try it a couple times with them, it's time for them to try it on their own. Now resist the urge, right, to jump in and save it. Let them spin the plate a little bit. Let them struggle through it, just like in exercising or in lifting weights. If somebody comes in and helps you lift the bar, you never get stronger. It's the exact same way with your job roles. The struggle helps build confidence, helps build that mental strength over the long run. Don't come in and help them the second they start to struggle. No, let them get through it. They will find a way, and then you can figure it out on the back end. You can help them on the back end figure out where's the holes, where do they need to get better. Set up a series of follow-up meetings to check in and answer any more questions and support them after the initial training meeting. This may be the most important step. They should own at least 80% of it at this point and just lean on you for the nuanced pieces. Lastly, let them take it over and then hold them accountable to the standard. Right at your team meetings, periodically check back in on that progress and continue to support them, but don't micromanage. Expect them to own it and expect them to be proactive in accomplishing whatever it is, and allowing them to be proactive about asking questions on anything that they may lack clarity on. Guys, I know this is a struggle. I know this doesn't just happen, that this is another level of business ownership. One who realizes what only their role needs to be and spends hours preparing and delegating the seemingly undelegatable to free you up for what only you need to be doing in your business. These tasks cost your business valuable money, be it something as simple as getting the mail from the post office. You run into somebody and all of a sudden it takes you an hour and a half and you're sitting there when you could have been doing things that only you need to be doing. You could have paid somebody $15-20 an hour to do that. So go back to that one thing you hesitated on. Start putting a process together. Make it bulletproof. Train, hold accountable, and offload it so your business can keep moving forward the direction it needs to go. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be or drink the excuse Kool-Aid, right? No. Imagine if Walmart or Amazon or Apple just one day, years ago, just decided that things couldn't be delegated. And they said, you know what? This is just the way it has to be done. No, they wouldn't be where they are today. Delegate down and out. And then allow your team to do the same. Take the time, believe it can be done. It's possible. The businesses that we are working with are doing it day after day after day. We have story after story of business owners who thought this can't be delegated, and yet they're doing it. They're building a process, they're training their team, and they're holding them accountable. Hope that makes sense. Thanks so much for listening today. Go ahead and send us what you're in the process of delegating and send us these success stories. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning. It's what gets us so excited to work alongside you and to keep you guys moving forward. Thanks so much.